Welcome back to the show. We're here at the ICRS 2013 in St. Louis, and we got a call last week, and actually an email asking us to get. We had a very special guest that I couldn't even say no. I was like, yes, definitely, I'll make some room for him. And it's Mr. Micheal Landon Jr. How are you doing, sir?
Excellent. Yourself?
Very good.
Great deal.
I've been a big fan of yours. I told you that before, and
yes,
and
thank you.
You do great work. I mean, you carry on a tradition of just good movies and good things that you do, and I'm very glad to know that you're continually moving strong. I tell everybody longevity. Longevity. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter how quick you get to a place, but
Yes.
it does matter how long you stay and the quality that's there.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So
I agree.
it's good. Just tell them a little bit about yourself, those that may not know all the things that you do, and then we'll jump into your book and whatever we want to talk
Sure,
about.
yeah. So my name is Micheal Landon Jr., and my father, Micheal Landon, was in the business. So I grew up in the film business. He starred in TV series Bonanza and Little House on the Prairie and Highway to Heaven. And so storytelling has been in my blood since I can remember.
Wow. And were you on set a lot?
I was. I grew up on the set. Again, starting in Bonanza those years and being on the Ponderosa and seeing.
Where was that actually shot at?
It was shot at Paramount Studios in
really?
Hollywood. Yes,
Okay.
And they did some second unit They did some. Well, I should say they did some work in Tucson, in Old Town there, and then a lot of second unit stuff in Tahoe, Lake Tahoe.
Okay. All right, and then also on Little House on the Prairie.
And Little House on the Prairie was actually Simi Valley, which was it's about 45 minutes outside of LA.
All right, so you grew up on the sets and stuff, and
Yes,
so
yes.
that's cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
And I'm sure you
Great
learned a lot
times.
from your dad.
I did. I got to see, I got to see all facets of filmmaking. So from an early age, 13 years old, I realized I wanted to direct.
Oh wow!
Yes.
So you knew you already knew your calling.
Yes, indeed. Exactly.
Was it difficult for you to start taking on projects, or you just said, I'm going to do it, got the camera crew, and went and took care of it? Or?
No.
Say, Dad, I borrowed the camera, I'm taking the truck.
Yeah, no, didn't do that.
Okay.
Didn't do that. No, it took a lot of years. I went to film school. I was in camera, starting off as a film loader, and was an assistant cameraman for 5 years, which basically means you lug equipment around.
Okay.
And so I did that for 5 years. I've been a production assistant, apprentice editor, did some acting just to see what it was like to be in front of the camera for directing purposes, studied acting with various coaches.
Did you like it?
I did. I mean, I did like it. You have to be extremely passionate to want to be an actor.
Okay.
It's just way too competitive not to be really passionate. You have to be prepared to struggle for years.
Okay.
And have other jobs to support yourself.
And you've made several movies.
I have. I've made about a little over a dozen films.
Wow. And now you have a book. This is your second book?
This is my third book.
Your third book.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
It is Traces of Mercy.
That is it.
And this is a nice shot. We're going to have a good JPEG on the screen for you right now.
Great.
And tell us about the book. Tell us what caused you, what encouraged you, inspired you to put the book together.
Yeah, well, my writing partner of many years, Cindy Kelly, we wrote an adaptation of the Marjorie Williams classic, The Velveteen Rabbit, together. Okay. And from there we wrote Love Comes Softly, which is an adaptation of a Jeanette Oak novel. And so we've been working together for quite some time now, and this is our second novel together that we co-authored. The Silent Gift being the first one.
Okay.
And so she came to me with a nugget of an idea, and the way our partnership basically works out is that I'm kind of the storyteller of the team.
Okay.
I lay out all the beats of the story. I break it down. I lay out all the characters, and then she takes the first pass, and then I write behind her. And so she came to me with a little nugget of a story, and I got excited about it. And so Traces of Mercy is set at the tail end of the American Civil War.
All right.
And it's about our young heroine whose identity is not revealed immediately. And she's in a horrific accident, and leaving her unconscious and alone. And when she's found, she can't remember anything.
Okay.
And so they give her the name Mercy because she was wearing a Mercy medallion when they found her. And like all amnesia patients, they just want to know the truth of their past. And a young, handsome stranger arrives, and he actually might hold the key to her past, but in so doing, it might jeopardize her future and even perhaps end her life.
Wow.
So that's kind of the setup of the novel. It is a trilogy. It's the first of 3 books.
The first of 3. And the story that you want to put out, what did you want the readers to get when they got this first book?
Yeah, so I don't really like to tell readers what to get out of out of a book, right?
What do you think they might get?
Well, it depends on which character they relate to, so depending on that, I mean, obviously. The women will resonate and connect with certain women in this, Mercy being the main protagonist. There's all sorts of ideas that they'll be able to relate to, the sense of feeling lost and alone and not being understood, and and then understanding what by the name suggests what Mercy is all about.
No, that's true. That's true. Traces of Mercy.
Yes,
that's a good caption there. Though they know that.
That's right.
They know what that's about. So, how can you compare writing books and making movies? I mean, it's both storytelling.
They're both storytelling, exactly. So that's why I decided, let's give this a shot. They're different, completely different process. I mean, with a novel, obviously, you're left alone in a room. And there's obviously that during the screenplay process, but the screenplay only becomes the blueprint, and then you go on to build the film based on the hires you make for your crew and your cast. It's much more collaborative in that respect. With this, I do collaborate with one other person, but it's definitely the job is in solitude, and it's hard work. Anybody that's written a novel, even a bad novel, knows that it's a ton of work.
Oh yeah, how long did it take you to put this one together?
That one from the time of consent, almost 2 years.
And how long did it take you to knock out a screenwriter?
That a screenplay.
The screenplay.
Yeah, screenplay varies. I've done a screenplay 3 months. Probably about the shortest.
That's a big difference.
Yes,
it is a big difference.
It is.
I mean, because you got to be the total imagination for this entire book. I mean,
yes.
As far as collaboration, you have one other person to bounce things off of. And
yes.
Let's rewrite that. Let's make this go like that.
Right.
So and there's no big reel-to-reel explosions, and so you got to make that imaginable in the reader's form,
yes.
so they can get it and stuff.
Yep.
What's the challenges between the two? I mean, from screenwriting and then from writing a novel, what would you say the biggest challenge for you?
Well, when you make a film, there's multiple challenges. So you have budget concerns, raising the money or pitching it to a studio or a network. You have the assembling of the crew. You're fighting the weather. You're fighting the clock because you have X amount of days to complete your film, or you go over budget.
Mm-hmm.
You're dealing with 50 to 100 crew members.
It's pretty stressful, it sounds like.
It actually can be. Yeah, it can be. So there's just a lot of things that can go wrong.
So your cost per day production compared to a book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's the power of a battery to write a book, and your lights that you need so you can see at times, and then usually in
Did
films,
you get more writer block on the book or writer's block on screenwriting?
Equal. I mean, there's obviously a screenplay is 120 pages. A novel is 300 plus.
Yeah.
So you're basically writing 3 screenplays.
Oh wow! What's your expectations of the book as far as people responding to it and stuff? And so you've read this to your third one, and
yes,
and it's the third novel.
Third novel.
Okay.
Yep.
So you had a good following on the last 2 novels as well.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I'm still known more for film, TV and film. But
that should help carry some fans over.
I hope so. I mean, I hope that if they love the storytelling of, let's say, Love Comes Softly, that they'll enjoy this as well.
Did you surprise yourself at any time when you were writing the book?
Yeah, there's surprises.
No,
Yeah.
for yourself, for you personally.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
tell me.
absolutely. You and then there are times where it's pretty depressing too.
I like your scope on life. It's true. It is true. In any type of entertainment productions, anything, you got that high, you got that low.
Yeah, you do.
And it's like even in the stuff that I do here, it just sometimes it's just the best thing, and sometimes it's like I don't want to get up.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you just gotta keep plugging away.
Just how it goes. Give everybody your website information. Let them know how they can get the book, but also how they stay in contact with you.
Yeah, my website is micheallandonjr.com, jr.com, and otherwise, I think you can pick up the book.
Yeah,
at your local Christian bookstore or barn. Yeah,
Yeah.
the chains.
And it's been released
It comes
already?
out. No, comes out October 1st.
Okay, October 1st. So you'll be looking out for that. It should be you'll be getting this in your store right about now. And we'll see you later. God bless, man. Thank you
God
for
bless
being
you.
part of the
Thank you,
show.
buddy. Appreciate
Okay.
it.